Hi friends, welcome back to Cakes by Madalena. Today I'm going to share the process in which I made this gorgeous antique gold fondant frame. I'm going to walk you through all the steps and share the products I used to achieve this look. Let's dive in. The star ingredient here is fondant, and I'm using satin ice. This is purely personal preference, no sponsorship or endorsements. I've tinted it with Color Mill Pastel Yellow. For tools, I've got on hand a silicone mold, fondant roller, edible gold paint, edible pearl spray, powdered sugar, a paintbrush, and a paring knife. I'll link everything in the description for reference. To make it easier when removing the fondant, I like to dust the inside of the mold with a little powdered sugar using a paintbrush. Full disclosure, I totally forgot to record that step for you, but it is an important one. This helps release the fondant cleanly and keeps all of those delicate details intact. Next, I press the fondant firmly into the mold, then roll over it with my silicone rolling pin to make sure it fills every little crevice. Using a paring knife, I trim away the excess. Now it's time to remove it from the mold. Slowly and patiently, guys. Do not rush this process. Even with the powdered sugar, it can still be tricky. I flip the mold upside down close to my work surface, which is pre-lined with parchment paper. You do not want your mirror or any fondant elements sticking to the table. I angled the mold slightly and used my fingers to gently guide it out. It's perfect. Every detail came through beautifully. At this stage, the fondant is still soft and flexible, so you can adjust the shape if you want. I kept mine oval, but you could gently push the center into a circle shape if that's the style you're after. I like to let my fondant decorations dry completely before attaching them to the cake. This helps them hold their shape and stay secure. Typically, I'll leave them overnight. Now, for that antique finish, I start by painting the mirror with a small amount of edible gold paint. Because the base is already yellow, you don't need much paint to get that rich metallic look. Once that's dry, I give it a light mist of pearl luster spray. This tones down the yellow and gives it that aged, gold peeking through effect. I'm using a very thin brush to ensure I get the gold paint into all the little crevices, capturing all of those details. You also want to ensure you're using non-shedding food-grade brushes. No one wants little brush bristles in their food. I also want to warn, when using the edible luster spray, ensure you cover the surface and all surrounding surfaces. The aerosol makes for a product that travels, and I've learned to cover as much as possible to avoid the excess mist from making a mess. And that's our finished mirror. Now let's attach it to the cake. My cake is already frosted and fully chilled. This is key for me. I know some people keep this step, but I find decorating a cold cake makes everything cleaner and more stable. Nothing sliding around, and the buttercream I use as glue sets quickly against the cold surface. I chill my cakes for at least 1 to 2 hours before decorating. To attach the mirror, I'm simply adding a little bit of buttercream, the same color as the cake, to the back of the frame. I choose my placement and press it on, firmly but gently. You don't want it to crack, but you do want it to stick. And here's the final look. I finished it off with some complimentary faux florals. The theme for this cake was girly Bridgerton vibes for a baby shower, and I think we nailed it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Until next time, bye.